Welcome back to another song analysis. Now, today we're going to be talking about a song that was actually suggested to me. You can see right here. Now, I want to remind you that if you're watching this, if there are songs that you haven't seen or I don't know about, please let me know. Make those recommendations. I can't always say that I'll choose them, but I'm more likely to choose them if you actually suggest it to me or recommend it to me. That being said, be sure to leave your comments down below. I do read those. I look at every single one of them. Today we're going to be talking about a song from a game series that I've kind of fallen out with, haven't played in a very long time, and that is Axel's theme from Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, before we jump into the song, I break these up into three different parts. I do the context, the musical style, and why it's great to me. Without further ado, let's get to the context of Axel's theme. The story in Kingdom Hearts is wild and all over the place, and that's with every Kingdom Hearts game, so we're not going to get too far into that. However, I do want to talk about Axel, the character of Axel, so there will be some slight spoilers here if that matters to you. In the Kingdom Hearts games, there are these beings called nobodies, okay? So they are basically reflections of real people. Axel is a nobody. A good way to think of this is he's essentially a puppet version of somebody else that's real, that has a heart, that has a soul, all of that stuff. In the story, Axel befriends this character named Roxas, and then in turn, there's a lot of twists and turns. You fight Axel, which is what we're going to be talking about today, but he ends up befriending Sora and his friends, the main character, and he ends up becoming a pseudo good guy, kind of. It's really hard to explain. I'm not going to get too far into it. All you need to know is that he becomes a traitor to Organization 13, his own group, to help the good guys in this story. He's doing these things for what he feels are the right reasons. So now that we know who Axel is, and that you're going to go into this fight with him because he wants to take you out at this point in time, now we can jump into the musical style of his theme. Now, most of the music in the Kingdom Hearts series is very full, we'll say. I'm talking full orchestra, lots of instruments. It's big. It's usually bombastic. Even the more slow songs, the lighter songs, it's still very full. And in all these songs, there's usually a heavy focus on piano, and in a lot of them, even from the main theme to the very first song you hear in the entire series. What's interesting about Axel's theme is that, yes, there's piano. There's a lot of piano in this song, but I would say that's not the main focus of the song. I would actually argue that the bigger focus in the song, the more prevalent instrument, would probably be the horns, and then right next to it would be the use of the strings. And again, that's not to say that there's no piano in this. In fact, at about the 1 minute mark, there's a cool piano solo, if you will, where it's very focused on just piano. The song is frenetic and almost gives a feeling of an insect flying. So think of like Flight of the Bumblebee, that just very constant up and down and moving around, and it never really stops. This is a great battle song. In the Kingdom Hearts games, they are action RPGs largely, where you are pushing buttons. It's not turn based. So, this battle is constantly going, and this music really fits a battle atmosphere overall. The timpani, which are the big drums, think of it like that. The timpani, the rhythm section, and the lower strings absolutely carry this song forward at its blistering pace. So to keep that tempo up and going, those are the things that hold the low end and keep the pace going. So where the timpani, the rhythm section, and the lower strings kind of carry the bottom and keep it moving forward, the horns fill the body of this composition, and they make it full. And as we've discussed in other videos, horns usually are an announcement. They're big, they're loud, they're telling you, hey, there's a big thing happening right now, somebody important's coming along. So it kind of takes up a large chunk of the composition. And then you've got the higher strings with some piano usage that take the melodies all the way up at the top. And those are the things that you, the listener, will remember the most. Another interesting thing that I caught on to that I never really noticed because I was playing the game, and so it was just like, ah, this music's going, I gotta beat this guy. The lower end is always moving forward, and the notes always seem to be ascending, so going from a low note to a higher note. Whereas the melodies that are usually up on top are higher and the notes descend. And now you've got this really cool juxtaposition between the driving force at the lower end moving up and the melody, which is the more recognizable thing, moving down. And I like to think that this juxtaposition is kind of like Axel, right? So Axel is a bad guy. Axel is that melody at, that's the first thing that you see of Axel. That's the first thing that you hear of Axel. The melody is going downward. It's evil. It's dropping. It's prevalent, but it's the bad guy in this composition. But the driving force, the lower end, the thing that holds everything together, that is always moving up. And so I kind of view this as Axel's problem here, where he was with Organization 13 and is still technically a bad guy, but he's trying to help his friend and making sure that if Sora dies, then his friend dies. So he's got to protect Sora as well. So there's good in him as well. And that kind of sums up the musical style of this. It's full, a lot of instruments with a very heavy emphasis on horns and strings and that cool juxtaposition. Now, why do I think it's great? There is a very distinct sound to all of the soundtracks in the Kingdom Hearts games. You hear it, most likely you would recognize it and go, oh, wait, that sounds like it's a Kingdom Hearts game. Full disclosure, I'm not really a huge fan of the games anymore. I loved them back in the day. I replayed them and went, wow, I really don't like these for whatever reason. But one thing that I can 100% agree on is that the music in these games is top tier. And this composition is no exception. And I have to say that Yoko Shimomura, the creator, amazing. Totally amazing. And this is fantastic work as well. My favorite thing about this theme is the combative nature of it. Number one, that works perfectly for a boss battle theme, right? It's frenetic, it's moving, it's combative, like I said. But I also like how there seems to be this other meaning of Axel's choices and how he feels about these things, having to betray his group that, helped him, but they're evil. But he's still kind of evil himself, but he's doing it for a good reason because he's trying to help his friend. In this song, the usage of the melodies up at the top and then the lower end being carried there, kind of fighting and one moving upward and one moving downward, is just really cool and a cool idea to me without losing that distinct Kingdom Hearts sound. And that's why I think that this composition is great. If you like this video, as I said before, like, subscribe, but more importantly, comment below. If you've got suggestions of songs and games, let me know. I'm willing to look at them. I love music in games, so I can look at anything and find the cool parts of it. But that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye!